going to let you hide. He wants to try and bring down a Force, but a Force ends ground. And Champ pulls Spear back in the base after Force gets a double kill. Leap up away! The leap up, the swap on the leap!
Butchering Brax, phase shift dodges it, but to what end? They've done no damage. Now the song's down and Fnatic are going to move on here.
Both guys, they want to signal the tree line. Denny get a phase shift, and then with Achievement's gone, they're going to jump in. Koro, big stun, double stun, feed could cancel, Black Hole, won't go. He actually gets turned. KYN trying to hire, locked in position. A Force with a double kill, Mushi almost dead, and instead, pushing down, and SK will buy back, and GG! Navi! Are you ready? Welcome everybody into your coverage of the MLG TKO. Is our final day, Cap. Our final day of the group stages. I say the group stages, all 3 stages, wrap up today.
Yep, we are finally going to see, well, I mean, I would say we're going to see what happens, you know, who's going to make it into the playoffs, but Toby,
we already know that.
We already know.
So, right now, we're here for a bit of fun, people. We're here for a bit of fun. Yeah. It's also because, like, the bonus point situation, the way it all works out. RoX can't make it to the playoffs. The only question is if it would be 100% secure that Team Empire go through the 1-game advantage into the grand final. To do that, they basically have to win one of the 2 games they're playing up against RoX tonight. And now, these games will actually be separated by a 2-hour break. This is so we can accommodate the other matches which are happening out there in the Dota 2 scene, and we can actually get this underway. And then this weekend, we will have the playoffs. I said the playoffs, the grand final, the best of 5 matches with 1-game advantages going out for both the EU and the US divisions, with $30,000 at stake for both of these divisions. Let's get ourselves into the game though, Cap, because the draft is already underway and we get to have ourselves some fun tonight. Some solo Invoker, some BZZ Ember Spirit, and then we get some big Lycans coming out for the rest of Team Empire. I know you were watching a lot of the Lycan games last night that were coming from Team Empire. Locked in a corner, hiding in the trees, not a safe place.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about giving up Ember Spirit, honestly, like ever. I honestly think that giving away Ember Spirit is a terrible idea. Now, it's not to say that he isn't unstoppable, but I feel like he's just one of those heroes that's either too versatile or too hard to shut down. Basically, the amount of resources you're putting into when it comes to your actual play, but also your draft, to just focus on the Ember Spirit pick. I feel like you're doing just so much to address one hero that it's not worth giving up. But that's not to say he's not unbeatable.
Yeah.
Honestly, Lycan has a much better win rate right now in the current patch, and Team Empire were able to snag that one first pick. So
see, I love the way Team Empire approached this. Like, you're talking about like shutting down the Ember Spirit. You're talking about like in silence heroes, like jumping in Storm Spirits with Orchids, which you see God Black now ban out. You look to take out the disabling heroes that will control the Ember Spirit. But Team Empire, they made us go the other side of this coin and go, why should we control you when you do no damage? So with a Lycan popping into Ultimate form, he hasn't really cared too much about what Ember Spirit's going to do unless he gets Searing chained up. And then it's more of a hindrance than anything else. And then you now have got a Centaur in the middle of the fight. So you got a huge-ass tanky kind of guy, which is going to give everyone the high movement speed anyway. So normally the Ember Spirit distance which you have, it's not as strong anymore.
Right.
Because you're able to get yourself in close. And with Bane being picked up here as our 3rd one, this is RoX, I feel like. It's obviously one of their signature heroes. I'll never let him go. But they're searching for a level of control. To Nightmare up a running in Centaur or a Lycan, but then you get the Master of Control. Resolution's Puck now gets picked up. So Team Empire, they show all 3 cores straight off the cuff. But there's your Silence Control. It's also with elusiveness, ganking potential. For me, I love Team Empire's draft. It's you're right though about the Ember Spirit getting out of control and takes more to control him. But obviously, just realized the stupidity of what I just said. But yeah, I think it's something which Team Empire with these 3 core heroes can deal with.
Yeah, I think that my gut reaction is when RoX picked up Ember Spirit, I was like, oh god, Team Empire, what have you just done? You've given solo Ember Spirit. I'm kind of scared about that. But looking at Team Empire, like especially the way that their first couple of bans, like those are typical Godlike heroes, but they're also good anti-Lycan heroes. Both Overgrowth coming out from the Train Protector, that's a pretty solid disable up against Lycan, as well as Dazzle. He's a really good defensive hero up against Lycan because Lycan is a very much single target physical damage dealer. So the armor from Weave, as well as even the heal, but also the Shallow Grave are good ways to be able to protect that one hero that Lycan is trying to lock down. So I think that banning away those two make Lycan even stronger than he already is in the meta. And now they're following this up with some really good mid-game aggression. If you just build into naturally tanky heroes, and then also get some good disable, Ember Spirit is less of a threat. There are a couple different ways to deal with Ember Spirit, I feel. It's going for pushing power early on, so building in some tanks. Lycan is a good example of both a tank and a good pusher. So I think he's an ideal hero going up against an Ember Spirit. The other way is just like really going heavy disables and angling for some late game, where Ember Spirit is a strong carry going into late game, but is very risky at the same time because he's easily shut down.
Yeah. And if Team Empire can't get that shut down, then goodbye Ember Spirit. But you're seeing now with Gulp, like he bans out the SD, he's feeling Team Empire, that aggression that can come out from both an SD roaming with a Leshrac combination, that's kind of brutal. I'm thinking more about the pushing power though. Like, the Enchantress was the 5th ban out here right now by Team Empire, and that was actually the hero I was considering for Team Empire. RoX was still looking for some extra security coming out from the jungle, because for them, they wanted to lay this game up. They're still running like a Bane and Mirana, which I believe is going to be a dual lane offlane combination with the Ember Spirit safe lane bottom, and then the Invoker in towards the mid. But right now, like Team Empire, they didn't really have a way of controlling up the Mirana and the Bane, and I was looking for like a Rubik pickup, or just going for the safety and saying, you just fire up on the top, do what you want to do, we'll get Chen up on the field. That means it's a lot of life points when they're diving in. It's not always the greatest combination with the Leshrac, but it still does the job they're searching for, because the combination turns into the Leshrac Edict with the Chen army behind it to push down the towers. And RoX, because they had nothing like that. Chen's their only meat shield that allows them to push right now. Until Mirana gets something like a Maelstrom up and running, there's no massive pushing power, even with the Ember Spirit Battle Fury.
Yeah, what RoX really has is just a plethora of mid-game. Where Chen is still strong because of his heal, his send back is also going to be really good with Ember Spirit. I'm surprised that we don't see this combo more, but just the fact that you no longer have to use the teleport scroll for Ember Spirit, he can actually go in middle of the fight. You can actually activate that send back on Ember Spirit as he's jumping in, and he just throws down an extra a remnant. He takes a little bit of damage, but he just causes a bunch of chaos, and all of a sudden he's gone. He's back at base. He heals up just a little bit, whatever damage he's taken, and then comes right back into the team fight to cause even more havoc. It's a very powerful combination, but Team Empire, I think they've done a really good job to address the Ember Spirit. They've got the pushing power of the Lycan already, but then they follow that up with a lot of early to mid-game team fight as well. So this is going to just be a bloodbath left and right. I think RoX have much better skirmish power, but in full 5-on-5 team fights, I actually value Team Empire's draft more, because you have the Hal, you have Puck, one of the strongest 5-on-5 team fighters out there, as well as the Centaur ultimate coming into play. Those three heroes just give you so much good, big 5-on-5 team fight that I think Team Empire will have the stronger mid-game, and we'll turn that into push. However, RoX have a lot more openings, not only in just the laning phase, but when we start moving outside the laning phase, like that 15-minute mark where you start having those rotations around the map. That Bane-Mirana combo is one of the strongest dual lanes in the game. So that's going to be really rough for Empire to deal with. And I'm interested to see how RoX are going to run this, because you talked about early the aggro dual lane that could be coming out from RoX. If they want to get real risky here, they can even go and put the Chen in the enemy jungle. But that being said, with a Rubik Leshrac, I think that's a strong enough support duo that you don't want to go too aggressive against that. Yeah. Just have Chen farm up his own jungle, keep the Ember Spirit safe, and maybe even put down some ganks on Mag.
Surprising too that Goblike hasn't come down here to protect his own jungle. Yeah. Like, RoX have moved themselves out to their own lanes right now, but Goblike's going to make his way over. Now, this is a guy with no sentry wards and no money left over. In fact, the only sentry wards they have is over on the Bane. And Yol's already looking up towards the top lane, and he's going to need to get rid of these Observer wards for Team Empire. But at the same time, Team Empire are putting the waters there. They've got the magic bush that's going to block up these two camps right here. And then you've got one other Observer ward watching the top rune. It's like they don't want to see around the corner. If they see it, that's fine. They can see, in fact, Yol right now. Venskor was hoping he would hover around this region. And the pings, a lot of pings are actually coming out and saying he has to know. Yep, ward up on the high ground. Problem is, though, they can't reveal it. The Observer ward from the other side, it doesn't see all the way over. In fact, if it was a little bit further to the cliff, he would have it. And now, sentry ward to sentry ward. Yol, he's going to live life on the edge to try and do that. But at least one thing will work. Sentry ward counter sentry ward. It's one way to start off the game.
Yeah, Yol's he's going to force both of the supports to be here. If both of them are not here, he will get that ward countered because he could just sleep up the Rubik right now.
Oh, Yol!
Oh, no!
Well, all right.
Yo, how did he not see that coming?
Because he doesn't have... no, he has an Observer ward.
Vanskor was trying to do that in the beginning of the game. He was trying to throw Yol up on the cliff, and he just stood there, was not paying attention whatsoever, and now he's
there for 2 minutes.
He's there for 2 minutes.
At least.
Yep.
At least 2 minutes. The problem is, too, it's going to take money away from the other lanes, because someone else is going to have to upgrade the courier. He won't have the money for both a courier and a TP scroll, so someone's buying him something for one of these.
That means Chen is going to have to purchase flying, which is going to take away from his early mech as well as some of his smoke gank. Like, you presume that Chen was looking to go for a smoke gank on resolution in middle. Like, they can shut down this puck, I think, if they just have the right creep for it, but as it stands, Godblack actually, they have another plan here. They can send it back. They can also send him back with Test of Faith.
Yeah.
That's what he has to do.
And that's the one thing that can't get interrupted. But Venskor's coming back down here now. They got de-warded out. It's okay. One way to save him. So Yol will be a way to safety. But at the same time, Godblack is moving up towards the north. And this is taking a lot of time out of his transition. I'm still not sure this is worth it. It may have been better just to spend the money as opposed to rotate the Chen out. Especially now with Vanskor going to be stealing a 2-minute rune. And they're moving up for a kill. They need the Nightmare on silence to then go straight into the arrow. Then you can have yourself a Troll Trap follow-up. Even then, I don't think they have enough damage to kill off the Lycan at this point of the game. Because it's Mirana, like her base damage is quite poor, and there's no level of Brain Sap coming in for Bane. So there's no burst damage from him.
Yeah, especially since Lycan's already level 3, and he has a Ring of Protection as well. He's got a high amount of armor. But the other thing is the Sleep Arrow combo is not effective versus Lycan because he should have his Wolves out to be able to protect him. Whether the Wolves are waking him up from the sleep in order for him to dodge the arrow, or if the Wolves just simply tanking the arrow for him. Either way, he shouldn't really get caught out by that combo. So that is why I didn't expect them to run the Chen so aggressively. I didn't really see the success, and there's good amount of potential here from Empire to make her turn around. Like, the Rubik Leshrac is a pretty dangerous support combo. Then you combine the extra howl damage you're getting from those auto attacks.
So just watching this Rubik Leshrac combination, you talk about it being ganking potential. They're sitting in this corner, waiting for Roskis just to inch in a little bit too far, and then they'll go and initiate. But right now, this Fable almost has to be used by Vanskor to pull the creep wave off, but they managed to grab the aggro instead. So it's back behind the tower, which is such a risky position for Roskis to come into. Like, Chen can try and send you back, but the damage output coming out from Team Empire, especially with that 1 point of Edict, if you can isolate one hero, that hero should be down very quickly.
Yeah, right now they're just kind of wasting Godblack's time. Granted, Silent isn't...
They should pick up, throw him back, and the follow-up stun into the Edict damage too, and that's the isolation we're talking about. The Nightmare had to be taken off him, and the first ball will be spilled up on the top lane, while Godblack, the Edict, just keeps wearing into him. Now the Wolves are on the tail, and Leshrac, he got the stun. They turn 1 kill into a 2 kill.
Toby, I love it when a plan comes together, just like we talked about. The howl damage just ripped apart that Bane, and it's no surprise whatsoever that Empire ended up winning that defensive tri-lane. So not only were they wasting Godblack's time, now they just fed away 2 kills to Silent. So every bit of gold that they shut down on Silent from him not being able to pick up full CS because he was too scared, he now just returned that by being able to get a kill.
Cito's already used his leap. They Nightmare, and then the arrow, Vanskor takes it off him. So the arrow will go completely astray.
Really great reaction there from Vanskor. Stopping that, trading the sleep. immediately, as soon as humanly possible. That was a great play, and that's exactly what you need to see. Godlike has returned to this lane. I still can't believe they're trying to make this work.
It kind of really feels like a last roll of the dice, and I can't believe I'm saying that like 5 minutes into this game, but ever since he was forced to rotate towards the top lane, they must have just have the mindset of this lane must belong to us. And if the lane belongs to them, then they're all good to go. But Silent just sits there leeching the experience, while the pulls now begin by always want to fly. Now that is being watched. Oh, nicely grabbed aggro too. That hill troll, that attack just managed to drag back the dire creep wave again. Maybe they think they can get themselves a kill here, but they're still going up against it. There's 2 points Feybolt. Always want to fly will be controlled for a moment. Seedoy, the arrow will go, but the Nightmare, the timing was actually off, or at least the accuracy was off. While Vanscore, the Feybolt's already done his job. Always want to fly running west and away, but then with an extra stun, we've got Vanscore trying to fight in here, and it will be a 1-for-1 trade. But when Lycan's the one getting the kills, the trade is not worth it. And especially when you're shutting down this Chen again. Their headdress is at the point where it can be picked up almost, but you're giving so much more to Team Empire with every single fight that goes on. And what are they getting in trade? Invoker is getting some really good farm on the bottom lane, and Solo is winning his CS battle in the middle lane up against the puck. So that's the upside right now for RoX. And maybe that's the way they're looking at this, going, well, at least 2 of our lanes are working quite nicely for us.
Yeah, and to combo off of that, if you had like just a regular dual lane, Vanscore as well as Always Want to Fly could pick up some smokes, and they could easily go and gank middle. Like the lead of Telekinesis followed up by the stun of Leshrac, they could kill Solo pretty quickly.
Picked up, throw him back, but there's no Leshrac. He's so far away. I don't know what really Vanscore was attempting to do apart from bait the leap. He might be going back to base, which could be the reason why. He's got no mana left.
Yeah, so if they just keep the attention of those supports at the top lane, away from ganking the middle or the bottom lane, I think they're winning their other lanes hard enough that it might just be worth it to gimp the Chen like this.
Well, Puck, he's rotating out from the mid, and what a good time for the Forge Spirit to come over and scout. I don't know if that saw him, though, because by the positioning here of BZZ, I don't think it actually caught Resolution. Now, he's going to try and, Dream Call in. Mag with the ulti, Hoof Stomp to start with the orb damage as well as the extra rift. Now Solo's jumped down here. It's a shame that rift wasn't a second too late, because now Solo might be able to mop up with a double kill right now. Resolution, yep, he cancelled his TP. That wasn't even changed, that was just a straight up cancel, and Puck's going to go down the bottom lane. They lose 2 of their cores for the Invoker, but they give 2 of their cores to the Ember Spirit.
I have no idea, that was just a simple misclick, because that should have been a straight up 1-for-1 exchange. But now Solo picking up the double kill like that, has his phase boots, soon going to have his drums. He started out this game looking really good. I mean, when you go for this kind of build...
Y'all pick up on the top lane. This time, though, Always On A Fly didn't see where he was dragging him back to. Not perfectly, at least. The communication might be a little bit off, but they still get the kill out, however, on Bane. He just dragged him that direction. Arrow will fly, but it'll go straight between the Empire heroes. That was more of a hopeful kind of arrow from Seedoy.
Now we're beginning to see Empire, they can start pushing towers in the next few minutes. Like with the way they won this top lane so hard, they can probably take this tower because they have level 2 Diabolic Edict already up for Always Want to Fly. At the very least, they're going to force out a glyph here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, Seedoy, is he going to have another poke? He can't with the entire dire creep wave there. Like, fortification will go off, but that's fortification being used to stop a level 2 Edict.
The smoke gank from Solo.
Maybe not going to be as effective because Vanscore pick up. Leshrac, okay, they made the decision not to fight, but then he's going to jump straight in. Sunstrike's on the way in, and Vanscore, the arrow will take him out. The combination from RoX is working beautifully, but the Dead Edict is still doing its work, and now in comes Resolution. Dream Call's available, but he cannot see Solo. The Moonlight Shadow is protecting him for now, and it will keep on going, and with Yol here, well, there's your first attack, but the Nightmare will just hold Resolution in position. Another arrow's going to fly in, but oh, he face shifted it out. Now with the silence, 2 on the Dream Call. Resolution to the other side. The Howl will go off, giving him the bonus damage. He needs to kill off Solo. One more attack, but he didn't get it, and Solo's going to jump back in here. Sunstrike, Resolution! It's just off to the side. Seedo will try and battle him up the hill. He's lost the Leshrac. Orbing down, phase shift again, underneath the tower, and he actually gets the kill on Solo for his own life.
Oh my god, I can't believe Resolution pulled that off. That was animated. He knew he was going to die no matter what. He was too low to be able to get away. He can't phase shift everything. So him suiciding his life just to make sure Solo goes down, that was a wonderful heads-up play from Resolution. But it's still, Empire's still making bad trades here. I can't believe they didn't try and fight that Ember Spirit earlier. When the two supports, when they led with that telekinesis, you're not running away from an Ember Spirit. That's all there is to it. You can't just stun him and run away, because he will catch up with you. Whether it's Sleight of Fist and Searing Chains or just using his Remnants aggressively, he will find you. So I think it's a much better option for them just to turn and fight in that situation.
Yeah. Oh man, they got a telekinesis grab on the Ember Spirit. It couldn't be any better.
Yeah, they combine that with the stun of Leshrac and some straight up auto attacks, and you're probably going to force Solo back. He won't be as aggressive, being at half health already.
Yep. Well, at least there is the one side, the fact that the Lycan was able to survive through all of this. Like, he's still 2-0-2 on this Silent Lycan, and with Medallion and Vlad's 10 minutes in, it's like clockwork. Into the pit they go. Vansko will be here just to give a bit of, I don't know, help to Silent. But that's all it's really going to be. But this is going to be a decently timed Roshan. Surprised also RoX aren't searching for this. Like, Goldblack has sent one of his undead minions to go and check for the pit, especially with the Howl popping off, and there's no real advantage coming in from the Howl. Just that, because it's a global thing. You hear it go off and you go, okay, something is going on. At the same time, it's going to be Goldblake trying to gank up Mag here in the bottom lane. Now, there's TB support coming in. The Centaur ulti has been triggered, but with the Chen Nuke Resolution, is he really going to try and battle this? Yes, he will. Dream Call over on 2. The Orb down as well. Goldblake's got Hand of God. He's going to trigger before he gets silenced up. Leshrac still got the stun over on Goldblake too, but in comes Silent. And Silent, well, not enough mana for his ulti form, which isn't really a great thing. And the Fiend's Grip from Yol is actually holding Always Wanna Fly in position, while Solo's able to fist in. Vansko, telekinesis pick up and drop down, but it's Silent who's in way too far. Aegis Immortal will trigger right now, and he'll have to pop the ulti to get himself straight out of this one. There's Nightmare available, and that's what they're looking for. Chains, Nightmare, whatever else they got left. Starfall and Solo, just Ember Spirit jumps through him with a Remnant. And Team Empire, they're taking questionable fights, and even now, Solo's going to go deeper. He wants Vanskor, and what do we got stolen? Actually, one of the Remnants was stolen by Vanskor.
That is perfect. That is, bar none, one of the best abilities he can grab this game. So that was an excellent steal. I can't believe Solo didn't immediately jump to that Remnant. It looks like he was just kind of hesitant to actually make that dive.
Yeah.
I think he could have made it, man. He is so farmed right now. He has his drums up. He just needs to fly it out to him. The power of an Ember Spirit is not necessarily in the fact that you're able to just sit AFK and farm up quickly, but you can take these fights and survive. That's really how you get your gold advantage, is by farming up heroes, rather than just sitting in a lane passively and killing all the time. So I think Solo could have taken that jump and picked up an extra kill on one of those supports. But at the same time, RoX, they're already pretty far ahead. Empire have just taken a bad fight after bad fight. I don't think they're ready to take these fights, honestly. They should be waiting until they have Blink Dagger up on Mag, at the very least, before they go in for these mega dives.
Vanskor, he just jumps into a telekinesis. Mag will have to be Nightmared up, as the Centaur ulti was also used. But they're not really following in here on the bottom lane. It's Resolution who's got the Invis Rune sitting on 3 right now, and he's might just Dream Call to hold Cedo here, and he's going to do exactly that. Mag's on his way in. Resolution has to orb and jump up, but again, Fiend's Grip coming off cooldown, but Fiend's Grip stolen, but not enough mana to use it. So we can't interrupt at all. Vanskor needs these arcane boosts, not this bracer. While up on top lane, Solo's going to have a crack and Always Wanna Fly. Chains him up in the corner. He's looking for the stun, but Always Wanna Fly. It was great movement there with the Remnants, making it almost impossible to get that Splitter stun off, and now into a Cold Snap. Solo can fist again, and he managed to get the chaining off here on Silent. Into the corner. Silent triggers off the ultimate and just runs away with Howl up too. Vanskor's in the neighborhood. He does have Fiend's Grip available this time to use, but Silent, he just wants out. TP's away to safety.
God, this maxed out, the 4-4-0 build is just so obnoxious for a Lycanthrope to deal with. That 3-second hold from Searing Chains is pretty rough. When you pop Shapeshift and you're expecting to be able to use all that mobility to either get out or chase down heroes, and then you're held in place for 3 seconds from that Searing Chains, it is just wrecking Lycan right now. So Solo, with the right build here, and it really is. I mean, going up against all this magic damage, I think a lot of other players would have considered going for Flame Guard, but given the room he was allowed to have thanks to the aggressive tri-lane, he didn't have to worry about support ganks, so he can go for a more aggressive build, and it is just destroying Empire right now. So.
Yeah, it's massively paying off. The funny thing is, though, with all of these kills that are coming out, they're still not winning on net worth. Like, net worth overall from, like, 2nd to 4th position, it belongs. Oh, is there an arrow nearby? No, there's nothing nearby. He left a Fiend's Grip, but they're 7 seconds away. And Silent's going to watch him up on the high ground. The Wolves are already attacking on Jarl. The arrow, it connects! Which means the Sunstrike and the Starfall, everything falls from the heavens right on top of Lycan. And that net worth advantage, that's what I was about to say, the fact that his net worth for Lycan is still insanely high, which means Necro units are coming. Resolution's going to die up here on the top lane. Team Empire losing left, right, and center here. RoX, maybe they can claim their first victory here in Stage 3.
Yeah, maybe, though I think Empire's time to strike has finally occurred. You got the double blink daggers.
Not when you keep getting initiated on like this. Now, Always on Fly, they have to take the Nightmare off again. Arrow will connect, and Always on Fly gives his life for Mag. Like, blink daggers or not, RoX are the ones who are causing the bloodbath right now. They're initiating in, and Team Empire, the blink daggers are meant to be, so they're the initiators. They're the one that set the tempo.
Yeah, they just picked up the blink dagger for Centaur. If they just back up, recover a little bit, 5-man up, and go for these initiations, like the blink in from Puck, leading the Dream Coil Silent into the like 2 or 3-man stun from Centaur, like that's a lot of really good team fight potential. That by itself will win you. Just that combo by itself will win you the team fight, let alone the extra follow-up damage from the Leshrac, from the Howl damage of Lycanthrope. But like you said, they just keep on getting initiated on by RoX, despite the fact they just picked up their blink daggers. So,
and that's why they do this. They smoke up behind the tier 2 tower and they come out. But at the same time, RoX might be ready for this. It's 5 men in the middle lane for RoX.
They need Puck. They can't do this fight without Puck. They have to have a Silent on solo. Otherwise, the blink stun from Centaur is not going to hit the important hero, which is Ember Spirit right
Puck's
now.
on his way, but he just uses Blink Dagger to try and get there in time. He'll throw an orb out. What do we just get stolen? Okay, so Fisting just got stolen by Vanskor, but they've lost this tier 1 tower. Always on a Fly, it's gone completely rogue over towards the top lane. So I don't know if this is meant to be a potential trade for Silent as well as Always on a Fly to attempt. But for RoX, this should be fine. Taking early towers up against its lineup like Team Empire has is more than worth it. This Observer Ward is watching perfectly what's happening in the bottom, but the rest of Empire backing up. They saw it with their own Observer Ward. I think the smoke just came over the top of the trees. So they saw the fact that RoX were coming for him.
Well, maybe Solo can get this deny at the top lane. He's trying to clear through the last creeps.
He got it.
Nice. So that's huge. Taking away that tower advantage away from. But Empire, I think they realized that despite the fact that originally they have better team fight, I would think.
And RoX gets in a really awkward position, but when they got the high ground here, Vanskor's going to get picked up, and Mag with a double stun. Y'all will get a Fiend's Grip off, and Seedoy, though, they're still being controlled by Resolution's Dream Call, but Goblak, it's a double kill for him. Resolution having to face shift out that last attack from the Forge Spirit. They're trying to retreat back into the safety of their tier 2 tower. Now Vanskor, he stole Nightmare at least, which means he's able to give that over when he took out the Necro unit. That's what ended up taking the aggro. I think that's just actually a bit of miss micro coming out there from the Necro units of Invoker. But Silent's in a lot of trouble, though. Necro units coming in with the Forged Spirits and the Cold Snap, really dropping him down very, very low. Yeah, just an unfortunate removal of Nightmare.
That was so close to being a huge win for Empire. If that Centaur stun had hit Yol on the side, that would have meant you would have seen that double-edged damage come into play, and he would have killed both the Invoker as well as the Mirana, because they were close together. He would have gotten that splash damage, and he would have hit both of them, but the Fiend's Grip was perfectly timed that Mag was never able to get off a double edge, and that meant they couldn't quickly clear
Dire
through
Sentry
those
Ward!
killers.
Solo walked into it with the Invis, which means Stomp, Silence, and then the quick fist from Vanskor at the end to ensure the kill on the Ember Spirit with his own ability. And then they smoke up and move. It was just the D-warding Sentry Ward they threw down before in Vanskor. I mean, Solo, he had all reason to believe they didn't see him. Because he was walking around them for like five or so seconds. So, yeah.
Empire know that this is their time to strike. When the Ember Spirit is down, they're so far behind in gold that they can't actually take straight up team fights, but with that Ember Spirit going down.
Blink, silence, stomp. Okay, they never even had time for the double edge. That was a lot of very quick damage. Advanced Score just stole 4 points up in the Starfall. Somebody get this guy Arcane Boots. I don't know if it's just the games we keep casting Advanced Score on this Rubik, but he always seems to struggle to get to his Arcanes.
It's always an issue with Rubik because you are pretty much always the 5 player. You are always being the ward bitch, and this one, it's the same. Leshrac should be the hero. He needs some stats. Like Leshrac, you need a little bit of tank to you because you've got so much in your arsenal to throw out that if you just live through any sort of AoE magic damage, you can actually output so much. Just getting off Diabolic Edict is a huge boon in some of these team fights that don't involve any creeps. Because that's, what is it, like 1,600 damage? Something insane that comes out from Diabolic Edict if you're just able to put that on one target.
Yeah, I think I was actually having a debate with Luminous the other day about what hero does the most amount of damage.
Yeah.
And hands down, it's Edict.
Yeah, Edict, followed up by Shadow Poison, I believe is now your second ability due to the upgrade to 5 stacks. I believe that does like 1,200 damage.
Oh, no, yo!
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That sucks.
He thought he had Resolution, but Resolution was just playing mind games with him because the Illusion Room was triggered, but he then separated and it was intensively microing that one little puck over on the side while the other two just sat there auto-attacking.
The reason this is so terrible is because that is one of their only big disables. They don't have a whole lot of like leading disables to catch out the puck. Solo is not really that good with steering chains with a good phase shift or illusory orb, anything like that. He can dodge most of it.
Yeah.
They needed.
Oh, the arrow this time will connect. Oh, it's over on Resolution. He got caught out. The Sunstrike as well as the Cold Snap's able to hit on him. Vanscore trying to steal the Nightmare off him, but now he's in trouble because the Nightmare's over on Vanscore into a Starfall. And, well, actually, he stole Sunstrike at the very last moment.
How did he get hit by that arrow? It completely ruins Empire's whole tactic here, which was
now going in for Silent. Jumping over him. I don't know if Solus really got enough line points, mana, or damage to in fact complete that, but it doesn't matter for him because in the bottom lane, RoX are forcing out the racks, and the arrow flies up, and the TP had to be cancelled by Centaur. He's stuck. He's stuck in mid lane. Even if he pops the ulti off, it won't get him there in time. It won't last long enough. The bottom ranks belongs to RoX.
Just one pick off, man. Just that kill on Puck allowed them, because now you no longer have your spam to be able to keep back RoX from taking your tower quickly. Originally, Empire were in a really good position there. Until that arrow hit, they were in a position to be able to split push and trade tier 2 for tier 2. And that's exactly what you want to see when you're kind of behind like this in Golden Experience. If you can make good tower trades, you get yourself in a better position for the game. Then they would have Necrobook 3 and ready for some more team fights.
RoX, they're waiting to fight. They're all around the secret shot. Vanscore's going to walk in here and he sees him with the Moonlight Shadow, but you see the nuke damage coming out from RoX. Just so high. What's even more scary is the fact that you can still... Yeah, Solo's already come into the Fiend's Grip on Resolution. He came into the Remnant. Mag jumps in, but this is too late. Nightmare will control him. It buys the time for the rest of RoX to get their abilities back up and running again, and then they just go through him. This game almost looks like out of control for Team Empire, because this can either be a quick Roshan, or they could try and force in and go for a second set of racks. It means they still have to get through tier 2 towers, but right now for RoX, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll let you continue being the guy giving Empire hope, but I gotta say, I think this is over. Like, barring any big throws by RoX, taking racks this early is a big enough advantage that there's nothing to stop them here. Because it's not like Empire have this huge, like, late game advantage. They're dealing up against an Ember Spirit Invoker Mirana. RoX have the better late game here because they have so many different cores. Whereas Empire, like Centaur is going to fall off, Puck is going to fall off. They've got a decent amount of magic damage going into the late game, but it's not really reliable enough. It should be RoX. They're already controlling the mid game. They can go late if necessary and just have Ember Spirit get huge. Seedoy has already picked up a ton. Look at him. He's about to pick up a BKB and already has a Desolator.
They're all looking fantastic, man. Apart from, I'm still feeling Solo being as fantastic as I thought it should be. For a 7-2 Ember Spirit in this game, it really doesn't feel as magical, but yeah, it's everything combined together. And now, with this free Solo kill and always going to fly, Sunstrike will actually take that kill. Solo didn't have enough damage to finish the job, but he can now pick up his Battle Fury, finally. And this is when he can start to skyrocket in that net worth, because he's still sitting at 9k net worth. The Lycan still has an extra 2k over him, but at the same time, Mr. Handamitis Invoker with a 3-level Necro Book and 4.1k, yeah, there's no problems whatsoever for BZZ.
Yeah, unless you're running Ember Spirit as a hardcore one here, which RoX are not, this is actually, I would call this Battle Fury ahead of time. I know that Battle Fury, like traditional timing, you expect it, 15-minute mark, at latest, that sort of thing. But this is actually really good timing because Ember Spirit is not really that good at farming, and there is an awkward period of time switching from mid-game to late game where Ember Spirit doesn't hit hard, because he can't actually keep up that amount of gold compared to many other farmers.
I think they're hoping for a middle lane jump in.
Yeah.
Vanscore's walking around with this Arab. He's going to find Yol now. Resolution. He's got the Dream Call off and running, and they brought down the Mirana, but Yol pops off the BKB. He's coming in. He's looking for a Fiend's Grip target, and he goes on silent. The ultimate controller. He's got to hold down Lycan, and they've got him long enough. Lycan's on the sideline, but Vanscore, this time he'll steal it, but he wants to get the Fable off to try and get himself a kill. Unfortunately, he just throws away his own life with the Moonlight Shadow protecting RoX again during the fight. Team Empire licking their wounds again, lose their tier 2 and the mid fight.
Empire did everything they could in that team fight. They killed Seedoy instantly. They had Vanscore coming in from the side with a great arrow that finished off.
Resolution!
Oh, God, not again.
5 seconds on the arrow. He's dead. The Starfall from Seedoy will kill him off. That's mid-Rax. That's actually going to be mid-Rax. I don't know if he's control anymore. Mag would need like a 5-man hoof stomp right now to get on top of this. But even then, he's going to go into the middle of Sunstrike, always on a fly. He just stood there and Solo snipes him out. This is GG. I hate to say it, but it's GG. Team Empire are backed into a corner. They don't have anything going their way. They're 2 Raxes down. They're about to lose their top tower. Yep. Defeat is admitted. Team Empire will lose their game up against RoX and give them their first win. This also, like, we're not 100% sure about the point system. We're going to ask our Holy Master in our break, because we do actually have a 2-hour break coming up. But if RoX are able to take out this second game, then we'll find ourselves with a draw coming in for Team Empire as far as positioning goes. Because Fnatic are currently sitting at 4-2. That's their end result. Now, Team Empire actually end up going 3-2 with that loss. If they lose again, they go 3-3. They actually don't. They don't have the bonus point. I think Fnatic have #1 position here because of Team Empire's loss here.
If Empire, I believe how it is, if Empire can take this next game, they'll tie up with Fnatic.
Yeah, but the bonus point will keep Fnatic in front. They may have just thrown away their #1 game advantage.
No, Team Empire, they both got a bonus point from. You're looking at stage 3. Look at stage 2.
Yeah.
They both came away with an extra bonus point. So if they tie up their win-loss, they'll actually be tied as well.
You're right. You're right. It will be. It'll be head-to-head. Maybe we get ourselves a full best-of-5 in that case. Either way, we'll have to wait for 2 hours before we find out our results for the last game. RoX versus Team Empire will be coming back in 2 hours' time from now, as the teams have to go play off in a couple of other competitions as well. I believe there's a Dream League game coming up for RoX in just about an hour. So the conclusion of that game will be coming back here for the MLG TKO. Hopefully you've been enjoying the coverage, and we'll see you back here in about 2 hours' time.